This time, please rise as you're willing and able for our next hymn, We Are, which is number 1051 in the teal hymn. It is 4 pages long, so be sure to I have to admit I was lost too. So. We'll try that again at a future service. Our speaker this morning, Sarah Dwyer, is a canine behavioralist in her real life. Her life mission is to keep dogs in their forever homes. When she isn't bringing home strays or helping owners rediscover the dogs they love, she is defending those without a voice by educating people about dog behavior and breed characteristics. She is supported and uplifted in her career and life by her partner, Brian. Sarah's greatest life accomplishments will always be her 2 daughters, Jessica and Justice. Her most important job will be trying to instill the values and morals she has collected over her life. Sarah Dwyer.
Thank you, and thank everyone. I really appreciate you guys letting me get up here and speak about something I feel very strongly about, and that's our children and who they become. Everyone has their own beliefs, their own values, and each of you had inspiration in becoming who you are. I myself believe in karma, love, hard work, loyalty, and miracles. I was raised by an amazing single mom, and surrounding her, I had a loving community to teach me right from wrong. I walked in and out of churches as part of my spiritual journey. However, a moment I had in nature is the most defining one. I learned in that moment to listen within, to my heart, we'll call it. My heart telling me that God is a loving protector, our earth, a living being that has somehow given us life here. We are each born aware, special in our own way. Each of us starting out a bright, shining child, ready to be molded, to be taught to love and respect each other and our earth. Yet like a spoiled child, who has too many toys and not enough real love and boundaries, her children have forgotten her, letting her slip away, forgetting the beauty that she has produced. Yet not all is lost. We have ourselves and our children. We can make the world a brighter place. Today is Mother's Day, but I'm not just talking to the mothers in the crowd. I'm addressing everyone. Hillary Clinton says it takes a village. I say it takes one special person in one special moment to be that person that that child needs. We can make the world a better place, one child at a time. Maybe you tell them the magic of a bumblebee, or how to make vegetables into art, or how a little girl's love saves a pig. Something as simple as how to stand in line or being reminded to say please and thank you can help children in becoming well-rounded adults. I remember once a mother yelling at me and my brother for playing too loudly while her baby slept in a house nearby. At the time, I thought she was evil, but we both shut up rather quickly. Years later, I find out she had a baby with colic at the time, and not until recently was I able to sympathize with what she was going through. This moment, like many others through my life, defined who I am. Was it positive? Maybe. Maybe not. But it made me become aware of those around me. And although I must have been 4 at the time, I still remember it to this day. Would my mother have been able to teach me this life lesson as quickly and effectively as a sleep-deprived new mother? Mothers need your help. And I don't just mean with the kids and the dishes, and I don't just mean today. No. Mothers need help in showing their children a beautiful world, a world without fear, a world worth protecting, where you can trust those around you to point you in the right direction, whether or not it's what they want to hear. Mothers need a community that cares enough to step in and be the influence that their child needs. And moms, as moms, we struggle. We cry and we say they don't understand. And most of the time, they don't. I'm gonna cry. Mothers need to learn, but you know what? No one understands your everyday struggles. Mothers, we need to learn that it's okay for other people to help us. Our kids are going to be okay if we let someone else lift them up from a fall. We can't do it all, and we are not perfect, but that's okay. You aren't alone. We are all tired, and we all don't know what we're doing half the time. Am I doing everything right? Am I loving enough? Am I strict enough? Am I a good mother? Am I a bad mother? These are questions every mother asks themselves at one point or another. With Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, emails, phone calls, texting, and Instagram, when was the last time you looked up? When was the last time you disconnected and devoted yourself to your kids 100%? At last, it's easy to get wrapped up being a modern mommy, sharing the parts of our lives we want the public to see, but safeguarding the ones that aren't so picture perfect. That our house went unswept because the kids were having a meltdown. That the dishes sat in the sink because, well, sometimes you just don't have it in you at the end of the day. That we get tired of being someone's daughter, someone's wife, someone's mommy, and just want to be us. Then we ask, do we even know who we are anymore? Sometimes our personal lives suffer because somewhere along the line we stop mattering to ourselves. Our most important relationships suffer because what we imagined years ago has faded into a tantrum-driven, spit-up-covered, tear-soaked nightmare. But stop and really look at those faces that you created and ask yourself, what am I teaching them? Are you raising a son that you would want your daughter to marry? Are you raising a daughter that will know the value of a good man? Are they honest? Are they caring? Before we can do for our children, we must first do for our partners and ourselves. You have to revisit your morals and your values and look through new eyes at the environment you are creating for your children. You have to look at your children with new eyes and ask yourself, are you doing what is best for them? Are you raising them the way your parents raised you? And is that what you wanted for your children? What would life be like if you were in their shoes? With all the toys and movies and video games, do you spend enough time connecting with your child? Does your child have good role models in their community? Are their friends people that care about them? Sadly, many children around us are lacking what we as parents can all offer. Somewhere along the way, I started hearing parents say, well, it's their profile, their phone, their room. I agree with personal space. But there is personal space, and then there is protecting your child. Don't disconnect from your child's life just because they are growing older. As someone who was once a teenager in these crazy times, this is when your child will need you the most. Not every child has a good mother, but every child could have someone who cares. The person who asks how their day was, who makes the time to meet their friends, who goes the extra mile to connect with them as a person. Maybe your kids are grown and gone, so you've asked, what's this have to do with me? Maybe you didn't give birth to the children in your life, but does that mean they should raise themselves with no consequences, no rules, and no values? If their parents aren't stepping up, maybe you should, because the kids aren't going to come out and tell you they don't feel loved, that they aren't getting what they need. You just have to listen with your heart for what they aren't saying. Everyone can listen with the caring voice inside, a powerful voice of maternal knowledge, a white light of love and peace that is gentle and caring with an undercurrent so fierce she can strike the fear God within you with a single look. That inner voice of conditional love represents to me the goddess. She is what drives me to help those in need, to feed the stray cat and be nice to the shy kid, and to be a good mother. She is the voice that makes me want to show my girls the beautiful world her and her equal created for us. A world that didn't need fixing or improving. A world that we can sustain ourselves on by living off the gifts they gave us. Mother Earth is love. To live aware of her magic, her wonder, her healing powers is to live at peace. That voice allows me to honestly answer when I question myself as a mother. I raised my children with love and boundaries. I raised them to be aware of and to love others. I follow consistent rules. I follow through and I go with my gut. And most of all, I listen. Because kids will always tell you how they really feel, even if they don't come right out and say it. I am doing the same thing every other mother in the world is doing. I am just doing my best. But at the end of each day, I think about my children. I put them first, and I think of the people they may become and who they are today. If life is changing, I change with it, because I don't want to raise children who have no one to turn to, no one to trust. And I know deep in my heart, as my girls get older, they may still feel the need to hide things. I always say, there's no need to cry over spilled milk. Because I feel if your baby can't tell you they spilled their drink, then they will never be able to call you when they really mess up. I try to be the mother I want them to be, someone they can look up to. To be that role model, first, we have to accept nothing is set in stone. And no matter the size of the mistake, we can start over, especially when it comes to our children. Children know more than they let on. They see everything you feel clearly. They know how to push your buttons, and they know what real love does and does not feel like. You can't buy them toys and then believe in your heart everything will be okay. You can't give them a card twice a year with $20 in it, then be upset they talk about their grand who flew them out to see her. Children need to be shown love by everyone in their circle. They need to know that you care about who they become. And to the men, I have not forgotten about you. Do you know how many children are left without a good male role model? How few men of my generation are willing to step up to the commitment of being a daddy. We need men who connect with their inner nature and show the kids that there are good men in the world. Men who can love without hurting. That can show our young men how to treat their children and their wives. Men who know it's okay to feel and show it. Men who can teach the role of provider. And men that know for the kids the worst kind of punishment is just being disappointed in them. Your role is a huge role in who each of our children become. What type of fathers they will be, and what they will find most valuable in their lives. We have devalued the male role in our society, and it is time for the men to remember the part you play in nurturing our children into well-rounded adults. So whether you're a mother, father, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, or cousin, you weren't born in a turnip patch, and there are children around you who need you. Each and every one of you knows a child that could use a smile, or a thank you, or a reminder there is good left in the world. I hope some maternal love was sparked within you today. I hope that you take this as an invitation to help me and all the mothers raise our children into caring, loving adults that won't leave us forgotten rocking away our last few years. Thank you, everyone.
Now the next hymn again is one that we are not very familiar with, but Paul assures me that the tune is something that we know. So please rise as you're willing and able and join in our closing hymn, We Are the Earth, Upright and Proud, number 303. As we extinguish our chalice, please join me in reading our mission statement as a demonstration of our fellowship, our support for one another, and our commitment to the wider community. This church provides a safe place to dedicate diversity, through inspiration for our lives, foster social and environmental justice, and compassionately support each other in our spiritual searches. Thank you to our musician, Paul Dwyer, to Lisa Cook for our chalice lighting, to Mitch James for recording today's message, which, as you know, will be posted to YouTube later, to our greeter, Barbara Kovach, and to all others who are helping today, and of course to Sarah. Sarah will now provide us with our closing words, to be followed by a special postlude from Paul.
I have two quotes by David O. McKay, which I find it really funny that a male wrote these great quotes about motherhood, but that's okay. Motherhood is one of the things in all the world which most truly exemplifies the God-given virtue of creating and sacrificing. Though it carries the woman close to the brink of death, motherhood also leads her into the very realm of the fountains of life and makes her co-partner with the Creator in bestowing upon eternal spirit's mortal life. The noblest calling in the world is that of a mother. True motherhood is the most beautiful of all arts, the greatest of all professions. She who can paint a masterpiece or who can write a book that will influence millions deserves the plaudits and admiration of mankind. But she who rears successfully a family of healthy, beautiful sons and daughters, who immortal souls will be exerting an influence throughout the ages, long after paintings shall have faded and books and statues shall have been destroyed, deserves the highest honor that man can give.
Hi.
While Paul is setting up, I should explain that this song is a 1941 open letter. It was originally recorded by Danny Kaye. And it's a wartime letter from a son to his mother.
This is my mother, Irma, with an E. She died in 2001, just before 9/11, months before. In a way, I'm sort of glad she didn't have to process that event. I was drafted in Vietnam in 1968. I never went overseas or saw combat, so I'm kind of glad I didn't have to process that. This song, it's about a World War II soldier with a bad singing voice who writing home to his mom, one of the few soldiers with a ponytail. Dear Mom, the weather today was cloudy and damp. Your package arrived but was missing a stamp. Your cake made a hit with all the boys in the camp. How they love it. Dear Mom, the food is okay, don't worry your head. I sleep pretty well, but I miss my old bed. And oh, how I wish they'd make this army co-ed. Still I love you. If you should run into a certain you-know-who, please do this for me. Give her a kiss for me. Tell her to write me nightly. Dear Mom, that's all for tonight. The bugle just blew. Tomorrow's a big day with plenty to do. I'm okay here, but I'm kinda homesick for you. For I love you. I love you, Mom. Dear Mom.
Happy Mother's Day to all of you dear mothers.